Yes, good morning. Yes, 11th June 2022. Let's see which are the important articles from today's The Hindu newspaper. Yes, look at the first page. War takes toll on Surat diamond trade. Now, we have been learning about how this Ukraine war is impacting Indian economy. So we talked about the agriculture sector, we talked about the industrial sector, and at the same time we should also understand the impact on import and export of different commodities. Now here the particular impact on diamond trade. You should know that diamond trade, import and export is very important component of our, we can say, international trade. And that too, the main hub of this diamond trade or manufacturing is from Surat in Gujarat. Okay, and it is getting impacted. Why? Because some of the, let's say, stones, they are imported from Russia as well as Ukraine, and at the same time other countries. But there is, we can say, disruption in now supply of these stones from Russia. At the same time, there is overall increase in the commodity prices in the international market, and that's why many of the workers are losing jobs in the diamond industry in Surat. One of the impact you should be knowing about, you can note it down simply and we can write in our answer. On the bottom side, Prime Minister Modi launches projects worth 3050 crore in Gujarat. So we know that the elections are going to let's say to be held in Gujarat. So for that purpose, such kind of, let's say, new projects are being inaugurated in Gujarat state. Now, although it is fine, some of the hospitals are being inaugurated, and one thing you should find at the end of that article, in Ahmedabad, Prime Minister inaugurated headquarters of Indian National Space Promotion Authorization Center, IN-SPACE. Now this was in news in 2020 when this IN-SPACE was created as a part of space sector reforms, so as to promote the private sector participation in space sector, right? So from that perspective, basics of this IN-SPACE, this organization, what will be its role and responsibilities and its functions, we'll try to know from science and tech perspective. Okay, you should be also knowing that this year in prelims examination, with the direct context of Prime Minister inaugurating, Prime Minister visiting, such kind of words were used. So here onwards, you should be keeping in this mind that whenever, let's say, Prime Minister is inaugurating very important, let's say, buildings, institutes or anything, suppose it is related to basics of our syllabus, जैसे आर्ट एंड कल्चर है या हिस्ट्री है, ठीक है, साइंस एंड टेक है, ओके, और इंटरनेशनल रिलेशंस और एनी इंस्टीट्यूशन, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, गवर्नमेंट स्कीम्स, so that becomes important for our examination. Yes, now come to page number 8, editorial page. You can see that all these articles are not related to our examination.
India is not fastest growing.
I was talking about this. India is not the fastest growing big economy. See, although some facts are mentioned there, but severe criticism or negative aspects are more in this article. Although he is expert in economy, but the article is written in a very pessimistic manner.
Because they are displaying the values also.
Yes, he is talking about data inadequacy regarding we can say national income accounting, कैसे GDP का डेटा है या इन्फ्लेशन से डेटा जो है या एम्प्लॉयमेंट रिलेटेड डेटा है, that is inadequate, and that's why it is not showing true picture, and that's why he is saying that India is not the fast growing economy in the world. But that is fine. Okay, but see, we should be writing some optimistic thing in GS3 paper. GS3 paper जो होता है ना, उसमें कुछ भी negative नहीं होता है गवर्नमेंट को क्रिटिसाइज करने के लिए. See the nature of questions. Okay, so UPSC will not ask such questions in GS3 paper and GS1 paper. Okay, so when the criticism of government policies is required, the question will be in GS2 paper largely. Polity, governance and social justice. Okay, so इसलिए हमने ये पार्ट जो है हमने स्किप किया हुआ है. ऑन द बॉटम साइड द रिलेशंस ऑफ इंडिया विद गल्फ कंट्रीज दैट इज मेंशन, बट अगेन नो सब्सटेंशियल इनपुट इन दैट आर्टिकल. ठीक है, आप सिंपली एक दो पैराग्राफ पढ़ के देख सकते हैं, इतना कुछ उसमें हमारे लिए एग्जाम के लिए रिलेवेंट नहीं है. इफ सपोज द आर्टिकल इज टॉकिंग अबाउट द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ गल्फ कंट्रीज टू इंडिया, मैंने भी जब ये आर्टिकल पढ़ा तो मुझे लगा कि कुछ मिलेगा substantial relation, but it is talking at surface level regarding how these Gulf countries, although they have differences among themselves on different topics, but they unite whenever, let's say, issue of religion arises. ठीक है, and that's why India should be sensitive about this topic. यही एक पार्ट उस आर्टिकल में डिस्कस किया है, राइट? सो फाइन. Okay. Now come to page number 10, bottom side. Russia delivers more efficient nuclear fuel for Kudankulam. Now this is important for our science and technology perspective. Okay, the name of the fuel is TVS-2M nuclear fuel. Now suppose there is question in prelims examination. TVS-2M, sometimes seen in news, it is kind of nuclear fuel, है ना? ऐसा क्वेश्चन यूपीएससी पूछता है प्रीलिम्स एग्जामिनेशन में, राइट? सो दैट्स व्हाई वी कैन प्रिपेयर फॉर दिस पार्ट, एंड एट द सेम टाइम क्विकली विल हैव फ्रॉम ज्योग्राफी मैपिंग पर्सपेक्टिव द लोकेशंस ऑफ ऑपरेशनल न्यूक्लियर पावर प्लांट्स एंड प्रपोज्ड न्यूक्लियर पावर प्लांट्स इन इंडिया. Out of 15 geography questions, 9 questions were from mapping section. Out of those 9, 4 to 5 were directly based on the current affairs. तो इसका मतलब है ये रिलेवेंट है जो भी हम कर रहे हैं यहाँ पर, ठीक है? यस. नाउ ऑन पेज नंबर 11, that is fine. So on 11 on bottom side you can see tenure of NatGrid CEO curtailed, Ministry of Home Affairs. Now NatGrid is basically National Intelligence Grid. Okay, and this NatGrid is the institute under Ministry of Home Affairs which is responsible for integrating all the important law enforcement agencies in the country. तो ये क्या करता है, ये सारा डेटा जो है ना, सारा लॉ एनफोर्समेंट एजेंसीज का एक प्लेटफॉर्म पे अवेलेबल करके देता है. दैट्स व्हाई NatGrid, नेशनल इंटेलिजेंस ग्रिड. सो इट इज कनेक्टिंग ऑल इंपॉर्टेंट law enforcement agencies so that the law enforcement is more effective and efficient in the country. Okay, समझो ईडी को कुछ इंफॉर्मेशन चाहिए सीबीआई से, या फिर लोकल स्टेट पुलिस से इंफॉर्मेशन चाहिए, तो दे कैन शेयर द इंफॉर्मेशन थ्रू दिस प्लेटफॉर्म. ओके, सो व्हेनेवर वी टॉक अबाउट इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी इन इंडिया, हम क्लास में पढ़ाते हैं ये इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी में NatGrid. सो इट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इंस्टीट्यूशन. Understood? Yes. Then next page, Gujarat fishermen at sea due to steep hike in fuel prices, big fall in catch. Again the impact of war, how the crude oil prices have, we can say that, increased at the international level, and because of that the diesel prices has increased, and these boats are powered by diesel, fishermen boat, and that's why they are not finding incentive to go into let's say sea and catch the fish. At the same time their demand for fish in different countries including US and China has fallen down, and because of that also there is no demand, and then therefore of course this fishing industry in coastal Gujarat has suffered. Okay, so again the impact of war we can say, and on coastal communities in Gujarat. Okay, तो एक पेरिफेरल रेफरेंस आपको एक पता होना चाहिए. फाइन. देन सी फॉर्मर CAG pushes for more accountability in the government. So here Rajiv Maharshi, he is talking at particular, let's say, conference, and he says that the government do not keep records in appropriate manner so that CAG is able to audit them. That's why more accountability is required in the government, especially among the civil servants or public servants. ये उन्होंने एक स्टेटमेंट दिया है वहाँ पर. बट अगेन फ्रॉम प्रीलिम्स पॉलिटी पर्सपेक्टिव विल रिवाइज दिस एज अ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बॉडी, बेसिक्स ऑफ कैग जो एम लक्ष्मीकांत में दिया है उसी को रिवाइज करते हैं. ठीक है, देन फाइन, कम टू पेज नंबर 14. Rupee sinks to record low of 77.93 as oil and foreign portfolio investments outflow weigh. So what is rupee depreciation? Basics from economy perspective. At the same time, impact of rupee depreciation on different, let's say, aspects of economy, import, exports, inflation, whether, let's say, borrowing becomes costly or not. All this applied questions are being asked in the prelims examination. This year also there was one question when RBI sells dollars in the market. We had covered this in discussion in the Hindu analysis. ठीक है, तो हम prelims के perspective से इसको discuss करेंगे. Impact of rupee depreciation. Now war takes toll on Surat diamond trade. Okay, so you should be knowing about how these factories work. So these big factories in Surat used to bring raw material from different countries, we can say, like mostly from Russia, and because of that the people engaged in this industry are now jobless. Roughly 5 lakh people in rural Gujarat who are engaged in cutting and polishing diamonds for nearly 2 generations. Non-availability of raw material mostly from Russia have left them jobless. तो ये फैक्ट आपको पता होनी चाहिए. 5 लाख पीपल आर वर्किंग देयर. देन import of 100% of raw material from Russia, Australia, African countries such as South Africa, Zimbabwe and Congo. At the same time, maximum consumption of the final products happens in US directly or indirectly. Now due to problems between Russia and Ukraine, US has put ban on Russian companies. And because of that, nearly 27 to 30% of raw material are from Russia, especially the patli size stones. Most of this, almost 70%, they are imported from Russia. So that's why they are facing problem in importing raw material. The entire work of small diamond cutting and polishing is done in rural Gujarat, and workers do farm work in the morning and polish and cut raw diamond in the evening. High-end diamonds, they are cut in urban areas of Surat, urban processing units in Surat city, while rural areas जो है वहाँ पे सारा जो normal diamonds cutting और polishing का काम होता है maximum. Fine? Okay. Next, Gujarat fishermen at sea due to hike in fuel prices, big fall in catch. So the steep increase in diesel prices, freight cost that went up 6 times in 2 years, and the dwindling fish production are creating distress-like situation in coastal belt of Gujarat. Okay, then more than 5 lakh people are directly involved in the fisheries sector, and Gujarat is largest exporting state in terms of volume of fish in India. Several processing units have been shut due to lack of orders from China and European markets. Countries such as Vietnam get benefit of import tax concessions given by the government of Vietnam. But in India, we don't have such concessions provided to fishermen. Then diesel price and high duty are major issues. There are no fishing industry without fishermen. They used to get subsidy in excise duty for diesel. Now it is very limited. Okay, earlier there was subsidy given to fishermen for the use of diesel, but now it has been reduced. तो इसकी वजह से हम बोल सकते हैं. Then you can talk about women. About 50% of workers are women in the fishing industry. So any help to this sector will be help to women of Gujarat. Also it is affecting inland fishing in Gujarat. Fine? Okay. Now it is important. Russia delivers more efficient nuclear fuel for Kudamkulam. Yes, so Rosatom State Corporation of Russia has supplied first batches of more reliable and cost efficient nuclear fuel over the existing one, the TVS-2M nuclear fuel, to India for Unit 1 and 2 of Kudamkulam power plant. Okay, this new TVS-2M fuel is used in the next refueling. The reactor will start operations with 18-month fuel cycle. At present it is 12-month fuel cycle. So after every 12 months the fuel needs to be removed from the reactor and the new fuel is to be inserted, and that actually stops the electricity production. Okay, now the 18-month cycle will be more cost effective as well as efficient, right? So the technical aspects are mentioned, they are not important, but what is important for us, the new fuel has increased the uranium capacity also. Operation in longer fuel cycle enhance the economic efficiency of the plant, as the reactor have to undergo stoppage and refueling less frequently. The power units can produce more electricity. Besides, the plant needs to buy less fuel and as a result has to deal with smaller amounts of spent fuel. So nuclear waste reduction will be there. ये सारी चीजें उसमें involved है. Understood? So these are the benefits that you should be knowing about Kudamkulam power plant. Yes, Russia is building this under the intergovernmental agreement signed in 1988 and other following agreements of 1998 and 2008. After every 10 years the agreement is signed. Right. So first stage consists of unit number 1 and 2 which are operational now, and further it is building 4 more, 3, 4 and 5, 6 which are currently under construction. So Kudamkulam with the help of Russia you should know, and the new fuel TVS-2M. So we can expect question in prelims examination here, what is TVS-2M? Nuclear fuel. Fine? Okay. Yes. Now nuclear energy spread. So we can simply find out which are the operational nuclear power plants and proposed. The round ones which are mentioned are operational, and we can say that the square one or diamond shape is proposed ones, right? So you can see Rawat Bhata in Rajasthan. I would simultaneously tell you the state in which it is located. Rawat Bhata already established, as well as new units are proposed and under construction also. Then there is Kakrapar in Gujarat. Okay, so here also established unit is there, and again some construction of new units is going on. Now the new proposed, we can say, projects are there in Mithivardi in Maharashtra, Mithivardi, and Jaitapur in Maharashtra. Okay, see the location like this. Then Tarapur is already established units, one of the oldest one you can see here. Then Kaiga in Karnataka already established, and the new ongoing projects are also there. Kudamkulam, see here 2 units are established and the next are under construction. Kudamkulam is in Tamil Nadu. Then the Kalpakkam is also in Tamil Nadu. See the locations. This is on the southern side. Here it is in northern or northeastern side. Okay, so Kalpakkam is already established. Then Kovada in Andhra Pradesh.
Not in running conditions.
No, it is proposed. It is proposed. Kovada is proposed. It is not established yet. Also Madhya Pradesh, Bargi, it is also proposed. Then Haripur in West Bengal, it is also proposed. They can ask question, match the following. Match the following, mapping based. This year so many questions are asked. Then Narora already established Okay, so Narora in Uttar Pradesh, it is under construction also, you should be knowing. Then Kumharia in where? Haryana. ये देखिए अंडर कंस्ट्रक्शन है यहाँ पर, राइट. सो दीज आर द इम्पॉर्टेंट, वी कैन से. Okay, so have you understood now the locations and states, they are important. Match the following type of question can be asked. Okay, now Prime Minister launches projects worth 3,000 crore rupees in Gujarat, and here the inauguration of InSpace headquarter in Ahmedabad. That's why it is in news. Headquarter in Ahmedabad. Okay. So basics of InSpace, it was created by Government of India under Department of Space as a single window nodal agency for enabling and regulating space activities and usage of ISRO facilities by non-governmental private entities. NPGs मतलब क्या होता है? Non-governmental private entities. Up till now, there was no mechanism for utilization of ISRO facilities by the private sector. So as to facilitate this of free of cost or minimal cost to private sector to promote the innovation and private sector participation, such kind of, let's say, institute is created here, and this will be autonomous body. It will be like parallel body to ISRO. Okay, and the decisions related to let's say taken by InSpace will be final and binding on all stakeholders including ISRO. So separate permission of, let's say, using the facilities will not be required from ISRO. Okay, so see, ISRO now here onwards will only function on, you know, outstation, or we can say the space exploration projects. It will focus more on research. ISRO here onwards will focus more on research. There is second body created in 2019, that is PSU, Public Sector Undertaking, New Space India Limited. Now this body will be responsible here onwards for building launch vehicles, providing launch services, build satellites, providing space-based services and technology transfers. This will be responsible for building of satellites and developing technology and transferring that technology to the private sector. Are you getting this?
Promoting market mass.
Private sector participation. Okay, here onwards ISRO will not be burdened for this task. Up till now ISRO was doing everything. It was building satellites. It was, let's say, giving the contracts with private sector for building satellites or different material. So, and that it was also doing research. तो इससे क्या हो रहा था, उनका बर्डन जो है, इनका फोकस जो है रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट पे कम था, R&D पे. So now these separate organizations will reduce the burden on ISRO, and ISRO will now focus on R&D.
It will also benefit us. Private companies will give the advance payment to the research and their satellites.
Yes, private sector will also help in innovation. See, new startups are coming up in space sector. They are building small satellites. Satellite build करना ISRO का काम ही नहीं होना चाहिए, ठीक है. वो बोल सकते हैं ये स्पेसिफिकेशंस चाहिए, ये बिल्ड करके ले लेगा उनसे, ठीक है. सो focus should be only on R&D now here onwards. So that's why space reforms are very important now. Yes, former CAC pushes for more accountability in government, so that is fine. So why he is saying this? Because the government or government officials do not keep records in a appropriate manner, and because of that what happens is the CAG is not able to audit all these records properly and hold the government accountable. Okay, and that's why let's say for the example here it is said, like for example, see here, about 25% of expenditure of several state government was labeled as other expenditure. What is other expenditure? It is not known. Okay, so details are not known. 25%, it is 1/4 expenditure, and basically CAG is responsible to hold the government accountable, especially for financial matters, right? So every penny from the Consolidated Fund of India and Consolidated Fund of State that needs to be audited. ठीक है, अब बेसिक्स देखते हैं कैग का. कंट्रोलर एंड ऑडिटर जनरल ऑफ इंडिया, बेसिकली दिस बॉडी was created to ensure that whatever the money that is spent by the government, that is accounted and audited, so that it ensures that the money is spent for the specific purpose for which it is allocated through the budgetary provisions. ठीक है, so for this purpose this body is created. It is constitutional body created under article 148. Head of the person is also head of Indian Audit and Account Services, a department. So we know that Group A services through UPSC examination. So you may be also given the posting in this department. You may be future CAG also. ठीक है, promotion होके. Then appointment, CAG is appointed by the President of India by a warrant under his seal. So here there is no criteria for appointment mentioned in the Constitution. Then he makes and subscribes the oath and affirmation before the president. Now term 6 years and up to age of 65 years, either of it. Then he can resign by resignation to the letter to the president, or he can be removed on the same grounds and in the same manner as judge of Supreme Court. That means impeachment process. Judge of Supreme Court is removed through impeachment process. So in the same manner he can be removed. That means he is having some kind of security of tenure and independence, because removal of CAG is very difficult, right? So CAG is more powerful because of these constitutional provisions. Also, he is not eligible for further office or appointment under government of center as well as state. So that means the post retirement benefits, conflict of interest is removed here. Understood? Then his salary and other services conditions are determined by the parliament, not government. Okay, so again the independence is ensured, and it is same as judge of Supreme Court. Administrative expenses of the office of CAG and salaries and all, it is charged upon Consolidated Fund of India, not charged from. Charge upon means it cannot be changed during the tenure of CAG at his disadvantage. Okay, so again independence is ensured, security is ensured, right? Then no minister can represent CAG in the parliament, and no minister can be called upon to take any responsibility for any action done by him. So CAG is responsible to the parliament directly. Okay. Then Constitution under Article 149 authorizes Parliament to prescribe the duties and powers of CAG, and accordingly CAG Act of 71 was enacted. CAG Act 1971 to describe the powers and duties of CAG. Okay. Now what are the functions of CAG? He audits the accounts related to all expenditure from Consolidated Fund of India, Contingency Fund of India, Public Account of India, and the similar funds at state level, and also union territories having legislative assemblies, that is Delhi and Puducherry, right? So ये सारे जो है funds, इनका expenditure जो भी होगा, that will be audited. He audits the receipts and expenditure of the following also. Which are these? All bodies and authorities substantially financed from central and state revenues. Then government companies, public sector undertakings, we can say here. Then other corporations and bodies when so required by related laws. Some of the laws will say that some of the corporations are to be audited through CAG. Then again it is responsibility of CAG to audit them. Okay, but some of them, not all of them. Okay, Then he audits accounts of any other authority when requested by the president or governor, like for example of local bodies. Okay. Then he advises president with regard to prescription of the form in which the accounts of center and state shall be kept. Article 150. Along with that, he submits audit reports related to accounts of center to the president, and then president put this report on the floor of parliament. And for the states, the report goes to governor, and then governor put on the floor of state assembly. He ascertains and certifies the net proceeds of any tax or duties, and his certificate is final. Okay, Article 279. Okay, he acts as a guide, friend and philosopher of which committee? We learn this in polity part. Those having public administration, very specific topic for them. Public Accounts Committee. Basically, when the president is putting all these reports on the floors of parliament, parliament refers that report to the Public Account Committee, and Public Account Committee scrutinizes CAG report. Okay. Public Account Committee scrutinizes CAG report, and whenever required, it can ask the CAG explanation in that report. Understood? CAG is purely auditing and accounts body, no? So technical aspect. It is not talking about whether the government is doing wasteful expenditure or something like that. ठीक है? तो वो उनको जो है policy matters नहीं समझता है. हाँ, only numbers. But PAC is ensuring that whether the expenditure is, done with the right intention. So policy matters, that aspect is covered by PAC here. Now he compiles and maintains accounts of state governments. In 1976, before 1976, he used to compile and maintain the accounts of center also. But in 1976, he was relieved with the responsibility of compilation and maintenance of accounts of central government. So now there is only maintenance of state government accounts by the CAG, not the central government accounts. Okay. CAG submits 3 audit reports to the president. What are the names of the reports? Audit report on appropriation account, audit report on finance account, and audit report on public undertakings, public sector undertakings. What is appropriation? Appropriation bill is passed after budget. Finance bill is passed after budget. This is very basic, right? Appropriation means basically taking money out of consolidated fund of India for the expenditure purpose. That is appropriation. And what is finance bill? Whatever the revenue collection by the government is there through tax proposals, तो इसको finance bill बोलते हैं. तो expenditure, revenue and public sector undertakings, इन 3 पे audit report बनता है अलग से. Then the president lays these reports before the both houses of parliament. After this, PAC examines them and reports his finding to the parliament. Then in 1968, an audit board was established, audit board, as a part of office of CAG to associate outside specialists and experts to handle the technical aspects of audit of specialized enterprises like engineering, iron and steel and chemicals. बहुत सारे PSUs जो होते हैं, they are expert bodies, no technical bodies. तो वो उनके जो भी टेक्निकल एस्पेक्ट्स समझने के लिए एक्सपर्ट्स को अपॉइंट करने के लिए ऑडिट बोर्ड जो है एस्टेब्लिश किया गया. देन दिस बोर्ड वाज एस्टेब्लिश्ड ऑन द रिकमेंडेशंस ऑफ एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव रिफॉर्म्स कमीशन ARC फर्स्ट. इट कंसिस्ट ऑफ चेयरमैन एंड 2 members appointed by the CAG. Fine. Okay, so this much information is sufficient. Now rupee sinks to record low of 77.93 against the dollar. We are saying here against the dollar. because of oil prices, high oil prices, and outflow of foreign investment that is done through FPI, foreign portfolio investments. The reasons are these reasons. But what is the impact? What is currency depreciation? When we say rupee sinks, means there is depreciation of rupee. Okay, there is difference between devaluation and depreciation. Although it reduces the value of money or rupee or currency, but devaluation is done by the authorities of the state, government. Depreciation is due to market forces. Understood? Yes. जैसे China devaluates its currency artificially, और ये जो हम बोलते हैं ये rupee depreciation. Now rupee depreciation means value of rupee is declining vis-a-vis US dollar. ठीक है, तो that means basically demand of dollar is more compared to Indian rupee. The demand for Indian rupee in the market is falling down. That is nothing but rupee depreciation. For $1 we have to pay more rupee now because of this situation. Okay, rupee depreciation. As against this there is rupee appreciation or currency appreciation. ठीक है, तो वहाँ पे रुपी की वैल्यू बढ़ती है बिकॉज ऑफ इंक्रीज इन डिमांड इन द रुपी. ओके, नाउ let us understand the impact of rupee depreciation on different aspects. There are positives as well as negative. Largely negative aspects are there, but some positives first we'll have look. So who benefits from rupee depreciation? The exporters. Okay, the exporters tend to benefit from the rupee depreciation. Why? कैसे होता है ये? See, exporters are exporting commodities and in return they are getting the dollars. In return they are getting the dollars, and those dollars needs to be exchanged with the RBI. So in return of money, so because of that demand of money increases. That is not money, we will say rupee. Demand of rupee increases. When we say demand of rupee increases, means basically here we can talk about that rupee depreciation is helping exporters. Okay, it is helping exporters. They are getting more money here. यहाँ पे क्या है, $1 के लिए ज़्यादा मनी देना पड़ रहा है ना, तो in return RBI will give more money, rupees. So that's why we can say that they tend to earn more. Then NRI remittances. Remittances also we can say that leads to more money. NRIs who send money back home will end up sending more rupee value. They are sending back in dollars, right? And because of that they get more money, more rupee we can say. But the negative impacts are more, like costly imports. Import items get costly because in return we have to pay dollars. We have to pay in dollars and dollar demand increases, तो rupee depreciates. ये सारा चीज़ें हम देख सकते cyclic manner में हो रहा है, right? So imported item gets costlier, like for example oil imports will get costlier, which can directly impact consumers. How it impacts consumers? Look here. Imported inflation or cost push inflation. It increases the transport cost. It increases the overall input cost for manufacturing in the country, and that's why cost push inflation or imported inflation. Fine. Then costlier loans. Interest rates are hiked by the banks to stabilize inflation. जैसे अभी RBI जो है क्या कर रहा है, इन्फ्लेशन ज़्यादा है उसके लिए क्या कर रहा है, इंटरेस्ट रेट इंक्रीज कर रहा है. एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दिस रूपी डिप्रिशिएशन देयर इज इंपोर्टेड इन्फ्लेशन. टू डील विद दिस इन्फ्लेशन RBI will increase interest rates, and because of that the borrowing from the commercial bank will become costly, because commercial bank will increase their interest rates for borrowing, right? So that's why loans become costlier. Then foreign investors pull out the India from the Indian equities. ठीक है, so why they are pulling out? Because demand for dollar increases. Demand for dollar increases, not for rupee. Value of rupee is going down. Demand for dollar increases, so that's why they are taking their dollars back and leaving. When they are investing in India, they are giving us dollars and taking rupee. Okay. When they are leaving the country, they are taking back dollars. ठीक है, so demand for dollar is increasing. So foreign investment leaves, and this means there could be sharp fall in equity markets. That is what we are witnessing at present, resulting in decline in stock and equity mutual funds investment. तो सचिन तेंदुलकर आके क्या बोल रहा है आजकल एड में? बोल रहा है ना कि मत डरो, मार्केट नीचे गिर रहा है तो म्यूचुअल फंड्स का भी वैल्यू कम हो रहा है, बट फ्यूचर में वो बढ़ेगा. ऐसे ही बोल रहा है ना सचिन तेंदुलकर आके. हाँ, फॉरेन एजुकेशन वुड गेट मोर एक्सपेंसिव. Why? Because the students will need to pay more here for the dollars. So foreign education as well as foreign travel, tours and travels, right? So it will become more costly. Now as the dollars are leaving the country or imports are becoming costly, that imports basically widens what? Current account deficit. Current account deficit is widened because of costly imports. Because of costly imports. And when the current account deficit widens or imports are costly, but we have to pay for imports in dollars, ultimately the foreign exchange reserves with RBI will deplete. It will reduce. अरे वो हो रहा है अभी. It is falling down, right? So foreign exchange reserves with RBI will be reduced. This is the impact. In examination, one of this will be asked for surely.
That's why wheat also has been banned to export.
No, the reason is different. For wheat export, we focus more on domestic food security.
Yes, sir. If we are unable to food security, we need to import once again. Sir.
Yes.
That's why it will affect the forex reserve.
We can say that, but the major reason at present is ensuring domestic supply and inflation,
Price control.
food inflation, price controls. ये प्राइमरी कंसर्न ये है हमारा अभी राइट. ओके, हाँ.
Sir, I think it also improves our trade, that competitiveness.
It improves.
Yes, sir.
How? Depreciation of rupee never improves our competitiveness unless and until we are expert in exports of the goods. Unless and until we are export oriented country. For example, China. Depreciation of Chinese currency is good for China because it is export oriented country. ठीक है, इसलिए वो artificially devaluate करता है करेंसी को. Understood? So if the country is having export competence, then only it is beneficial for that country when there is rupee depreciation or currency depreciation. If this is not there and if country is importing a lot, then it is problematic. Understood? ठीक है? Okay. Now on the basis of this discussion, ऐसे क्वेश्चन आपको जरूर आ सकता है प्रीलिम्स में. रहेगा अभी माइंड में फिक्स. सी इन इकोनॉमी सच अप्लाइड क्वेश्चंस आर आस्क्ड, राइट. एवरी ईयर इन्फ्लेशन या फिर जो रुपी डिप्रिशिएशन हो या कोई भी चीज़ पे क्वेश्चन जो है अप्लाइड क्वेश्चन आता है. सो व्हाई वी आर सेइंग पॉसिबल इम्पैक्ट्स ऑफ रुपी डिप्रिशिएशन. कॉस्टली इंपोर्ट्स, दिस इज करेक्ट. चीप फॉरेन ट्रैवल, इट इज नॉट, रादर इट इज कॉस्टली, राइट, एक्सपेंसिव. देन कॉस्टली एक्सपोर्ट्स, रादर इट इज चीप एक्सपोर्ट्स or it benefits exports. And then this is correct. So 1 and 4 is the correct answer here, D. Okay, yes, any question?
But if even the elimination method, we can able to by second one. So if they even match the following city.
Yes, yes, surely. Okay, so let us stop then. Fine, thank you.
Welcome to Lukman IAS. Study general studies with Lukman IAS for building comprehensive knowledge. GS paper 2 and 4 will be taken by S. Ansari and other papers will be covered by renowned faculties. Live classes are as effective as offline classes. The classes are highly interactive in nature. Your doubts and queries will be addressed and there will be dictation of notes. In the last 10 years, Lukman IAS has set up a niche in the field of UPSC guidance.